I think there are
placeholders.
still free seats like at this table in the middle.
At the table at the middle, the three-piece, just sitting down here.
If you want, I mean, I think we left the so if you want to sit at this end, it would be with Adam Wiederman, who's a copywriter, copy chief at Agora, Stansberry. And if you want to go that way, Dan Cashel is one of our speakers, and he's a great business builder. So
this was the packet that everybody received.
Thank you.
You'll get another. Oh, you're not here tomorrow? Oh, you're here tomorrow, of course. So tomorrow you'll get a couple more books.
We have Titangrams.
Titangrams.
And then we have everybody gets a bio book.
Is it the bio book? Okay.
And then we did have T-shirts printed. So if you want to grab a T-shirt, whatever size you'd like.
Okay.
No meeting.
That's a good.
No. I know there's just empty seats in the...
So when they do the hot seats, Brian and Jace actually sit in the middle over there?
Yeah.
You know what? Really understanding and getting...
Hi Jay.
Hi, Sebastian.
How are you doing?
Good. Yeah, I felt bad, but are we going to kill it?
Huh?
Are we going to kill it when we do it?
It's gonna be awesome.
Okay.
We're gonna rock the house.
I'm doing something. I was supposed to be, well, I was in Paris.
Yeah.
And then I was going to do something with
Workshop
Sebastian.
in October.
And we did it too late.
Yeah, we had to.
But you had
to
good
move the
response.
dates. Yeah. But now moving it to February is gonna be like
Yeah, because I got to be
even
in
better.
Italy, and it's interesting. I got to be in Italy, then I got to see you, then I'm going to Turks and Caicos, all this
Wow,
stuff.
okay.
And so it'll be really cool. So, how are you, man?
Oh, you guys know each other?
Yeah.
Yeah. He knows everyone, man.
That's true.
I'm like this recluse that like stays locked in his house all year except for LaunchCon. He like knows everyone.
And we have a proven process for getting people on the TEDx stage. So far, 100% of our clients have gotten on that stage.
Okay, nice.
And what we do is we help our clients refine their message, refine what they want to be known for on the stage and kind of out in the world. And we help them curate it so that it's essentially their business card. And so it becomes the top of the funnel where when people watch you, they feel like they know you, they trust you, they understand your message, and all from there, they start to seek you out and say, okay, I want to know more. How do I work with you? How do I get involved in your world? Yeah, I mean, the cool thing about TEDx is it has a 21 million subscriber list. And so after you give your talk...
Not just the main TED list.
The main TED is different. And so we work strictly with the TEDx stage. Now, if you're on the TEDx stage, there is a possibility of that bringing you to the TED stage. But what it really ultimately does is it puts your idea and who you are to a greater number of people all over the world.
But the list you mentioned, is it the TEDx list or is it a separate or same list of subscribers as the main TED?
Great question. So the list that I mentioned, the 21 million subscribers, is just on the TEDx YouTube channel. And then TED's got its kind of own YouTube channel, and then it's also got its own website. And so people, depending on how many views you have on your TEDx, you can transfer over to the TED.com website, and then that brings you even more subscribers and more people that are interested in your message out there, which is really cool.
So now is the time David would say you're transitioning into the offer, I guess. Okay, make me an offer.
An offer? The offer is let's get on a call and see if what you have and what you're doing is something that's viable and works for the TEDx stage. And we go from there.
Awesome.
Before each TEDx event is its own independently organized event, and so there's no real hack per per se on like how you get chosen, other than you've got to make yourself really unique. And so that's what we specialize in, is having our clients stand out from everybody else that's submitting. And so we do have kind of insider knowledge of that, because of the people that we bring in to help our clients know that world really well. Yeah.
Once you've figured out one of those verticals, or several of those verticals, if you went out to someone who's already doing a brilliant job, but is not leveraging that as a revenue stream. So 3 quick examples. Most people here would know about the Zappos founder's book, Delivering Happiness. They now train people on customer service. The Zingerman's deli chain, who's known for the quality of their service, they now have a separate revenue stream training people on that. Tony Robbins coaches people. He's amazing at it. But he's partnering with Chloe Medanes to train people on how to do the same kind of counseling that he does through his events and the training. If you could partner with a company where they have a large audience, they are well known for the quality of what you already provide. They're not a possible client for you, but they could be someone that can say, well, if you want to reach the same level in this as we have, then here's who you should train with. Do you get what I mean? It's an additional stream of revenue for them to partner with you on it, and it's free clients for you. So having used the exact method to get in touch with people, and having had it used on me, I can tell it works, right? It's like, hey, I have this base of clients, and you don't even have to say how many people the podcast is promoted to, just I have this base of listeners, might just be mom. Do you want to do an interview? Always works. However, as it was just said, leading with the podcast is probably restricting your audience a lot, as per Chet Holmes' idea that only 3% of the people are already aware and interested enough to want that. However, if you started educating the market on the idea that just the concept of the one phone call or the one email that every prospect always returns, that gets people interested. And now you could educate with actual data. How many emails, like prospecting emails, don't get opened? How many phone calls don't get returned? And if you have this kind of data, you could go into broadcasting an actual case study. We sent 20 requests to high-end prospective buyers in this target market, and 18 of them returned our email. And then the trick at the end of the book or the video or the webinar is, well, the trick is you need to do a podcast, but not the ones that every other agency wants to sell you. We have a specific process. Do you have a name for your process?
Not really, no.
Okay, I would definitely name it. Now you do. I would definitely name the process. Because, not in French. Well, it depends. It depends. It could just be le podcast. But the point being that once it's branded, it stands out from what every other agency does.
Right. Thanks about that.
I have 2 younger sisters. One is a store manager, and the other is an e-commerce superstar for Marriott. And we were doing a Zoom call recently where the e-commerce superstar is training my other sister on how to do a landing page for her business. And she's like, well, you need to put this above the fold. I don't know why they say that. And so I just, as she's talking, grab one of the magalogs from my swipe file and go like this. And she's like, oh, because she's only working online. So the idea that you could fold a marketing piece was like foreign to her.
That's funny.
You did something. You posted something in the WhatsApp group, which
Yeah.
was digital.
What we did is recently we bought the front page and back of the front page of the newspaper, of the daily newspaper, and we did a headline that says, attention managers and CEOs, do not allow your employees to read this book, which was my book on how to start a business. most businesses, they tend to have very fast growth when you're at the beginning because it's easy to go from 100K to 200, 200 to 400, a little bit harder 400 to 800, but then you end up in a shifting sands zone where you can't spend twice as much on Facebook because you're not going to get twice as many leads, you're just going to spend twice as much. You can't find twice as many affiliates, you can't do twice as much hours of consulting or just double your product line. So you end up in a weird way, a weird place where doing what you've done doesn't enable you to keep growing at the same pace. And what he's found is that for most businesses, there are hidden assets in the business that allow you to skip the shifting zone altogether, meaning businesses that struggle to go from, say, to go through the $1 million mark, oftentimes once you find this factor, you end up at 2.5 million the next year without going through the
30 factors?
Yes. So basically the idea is for most businesses, many, if not all of the factors apply, but actually each business with just one can skip to the next zone. So there are several shifting zones. In most businesses, the $1 million to 2.5 is one of those where if you're stuck in it, you can't cross it, you have to skip it. For many businesses, the 75 million to 100 is another one, which was the case for Boardroom, where they went to 150, but they didn't slug through 105, 115, 125. So what we're doing is this event for businesses that have had high growth, want to keep growing fast, and want to skip to the next zone. Yes. So that's what I'm looking for.
And that's in February?
Yes, that's in February.
Where is it?
26 to 28. So it's a 3-day event. And there's a 4-day which is a limited attendance because it's hot seats with Jay on specifically the plan to implement. So it's the VIP day. And it's in Nice.
Will it be a
on the
similar
Riviera.
vibe to yesterday with him, like hot seats like that, or a different style?
It will be a different style. It would be closer to what he would do on a private consult with that company. Because there was a lot of the brainstorm with the room, but there it's more, because he'll already know more about the company, so it's going to be more consultative on what steps need to be taken to achieve the strategic growth. Yes.
Are you teaching too? Are you?
Yes. So I'm the facilitator. So basically, I'll have Brian's role in connecting the strategy to the audience and channeling, keeping us going. So I'll be complementing Jay's role so that he can stay in the in his genius role, and I can be facilitating the event.
So how many people do you want?
So what we'll have is 50 people to the workshop, 50 people, and then the VIP day is 10 people, so that we have enough time to work on each specific business. Is this something that could be interesting for you?
I'm very interested.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you find that when you coach people through the writing process, that there's a lot of non-writing related
it's 90%.
beliefs and
90% of it.
Okay.
Yeah, school told me that I'm not good at grammar. Or I learned how to write thesis papers, so I must do my creative writing with the topic sentence and 3 supporting sentences.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm ready to start my book. Topic sentence. Totally paralyzing.
Total block, okay.
Totally paralyzing, yeah. And then there's the book that people think they should write. So I really should write that story about my grandpa in the war.
Because people have told me you need to write about
said,
this.
That's so interesting, you should write that book. Instead of what they really want to write. So it's really sorting through what they really want to write, what they're passionate about. It's a hobby. If you don't enjoy writing, join a book bowling team.
Join a
Bowling
team.
That's what I tell people. If you don't enjoy writing, join a bowling team. It's a hobby. You don't have to do it. So if you're going to do it, make it fun.
So Carleen is one of the best copywriters in the world. And she just gave me the amazing aha moment to get my copy in French, but not by struggling to find a French copywriter, but hiring top English-speaking talent and having it translated.
Correct.
And the like deal maker or breaker on this process would be?
Okay, what I've done, and I'm doing this for the German market right now, and here's what happened. I explained to you why we came this way. Client hired me to write the copy. I wrote the copy in English, and they said they would translate it. Well, then they translated, and I asked them to translate it back to me. When I got the translation back to me, it was not what I said. It wasn't the spirit of what I was trying to say, so I didn't like that. So what I did was fortunately I had a friend who speaks fluent German, and I had her become the German Carleen, so that she would translate it first to the regular format of translation, and then we would sit and talk and make sure that she would actually be able to get the spirit of what I'm trying to say. You know, the emotion. I told her, say the emotion of what I'm trying to say in the copy. So I use the word kick butt a lot. Well, Germans don't say kick butt like that. So we had to find the appropriate word that would work to say the emotion. So remember that, say the emotion, not just translate.
So using a normal translator might transform kick butt into, you said, like better than average or fairly good.
A kick butt copy becomes fairly good copy. No, that does not do it. Does not do it. And then you'll find there are some words, especially in German languages, some words don't exist. And so we've had to say, okay, now what would I want to say? That would be it. So she would have to know the language. So you get someone who's fluent in French in this case, and then that person will be able to talk with the English copywriter and say, okay, in French we don't have this word. We have these words. And I would say, well, what does that mean? How does that work? So it adds another element of time to the process. But I was very happy with what happened. And so this is how I'm working with it here. And I think it can be easily moved over to the French market, you know, to do that. So anyway, I think that if you do that, then you don't have to worry about trying to get a French copywriter to do this stuff. You can just get a good writer, get the best copywriter you can get, and then say, all right, now we'll translate it. And you got to just allow time for it. Just, you know, it's going to make the process a little bit longer. Now, I don't know, like in German, for example, the German language runs about a third more than the English.
It's the same for French.
Same thing?
Yes.
So I have to learn that because I'm a long-winded writer. I mean, I'm not, when I write.
So it's risky because then the German sentence is like forever.
But it's okay because you have to know that. So I know when I'm writing, I need to cut back. So I'm not going to send my client like 54 pages of copy like I normally would do. I'm probably going to send him 36 pages of copy. That way we still keep the pages the same amount that they need to be for mailing.
For the format for mailing.
Right, to get it in there. And then I can recommend an excellent designer for you. And it doesn't matter because what he will do is he would design it in English. Okay. So then he just puts the words there. And then you can go ahead and you know, have it, you know, take the translation and then move it over on there. Where it's working, you know, we'll see. Now results will say everything. I don't know if we have results yet, but that is how we put that process together, and I think it's going to work great.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Again, thank you for coming. All right, you take care. Wish you the best.
I was a little down that Annick left the company and started her own business, but now I'm grateful that you invited me to take her spot here. And as I said before, my biggest takeaway was that if I solve the COO question, that makes everything else much simpler for the business. So that's my #1 action before the next Titans event, to have a COO. So I might not be there, but he or she might be there. Just a few takeaways. Marissa's, what would you do if you saw someone drowning? You wouldn't give them another glass of water. That stuck with me in terms of how much content we deliver and how to strategically use it for our people. Shelly's video that she played, that inspired our documentary trailer. Like, I just sent a message to Amy saying, hey, we could make some tweaks to make it like, we had a conversation about the page load speed, that was amazing, but probably my wife will be glad that I come back with 14 days of romance as a takeaway. So that's definitely in there. And I have lots of things I'm delegating with my team, but I would say that my number one copywriting takeaway for the letter I'm writing right now is, when in doubt, just steal some song lyrics. So I'm using rock and roll music as my copywriting crutch, and it's going to be awesome.
You have an
Thank you.
Because it's, you know, you can steal so many things in English and translate them. I don't know.
And nobody would know.
French, but you know, no one's ever going to find out.
I'm going to write about a hotel in California. Yeah.
Et si vous pouviez, vous aussi, devenir un entrepreneur libre? Mon entreprise réalise environ 1 million d'euros de chiffre d'affaires par an et je la gère en travaillant seulement un jour par semaine, le jeudi. Comment est-ce que vous pourriez, vous aussi, avoir un système marketing qui vend vos produits et services en automatique sans votre présence constante? C'est ce que j'explique dans ce livre, Le secret des entrepreneurs libres. Vous allez y découvrir les techniques utilisées par mes clients dans 25 secteurs d'activité différents et vous pouvez en ce moment recevoir le livre et le lire et décider seulement après si vous souhaitez le payer. Allez sur entrepreneurlibre.com/livre afin de le recevoir, le lire et me dire si vous pensez qu'il en vaut le prix. Plus de 15 000 entrepreneurs en ont déjà profité et j'aimerais que ça soit votre tour. Donc entrepreneurlibre.com/livre.